this video looks similar to the last one, that is because I taped it just after I pressed stop on that camera. Now, this is going to be vlog number 2, and I think I'll just say a bunch of stuff about what cars I've had and what I do, pretty much. Now, right now I don't do anything because I have this big ass cast, which came from an angle grinder, which, well, I had a death wheel on it, the cutoff wheel. There's a reason they're called a death wheel, because I was cutting through the exhaust pipe on a Chevy G20 van, because we were scrapping it and I needed the exhaust for that Dart I'm building. And the guy that has the Dart also had that van, so we just figured, well, we'll just take the exhaust off the van and we'll use that for your Dart. And I was pretty much through the exhaust pipe when I just felt the angle grinder tug, and, well, my hand sting. That was a geyser of blood, and yeah, blood and gore and everything, all of that. I cut straight through 2 tendons in my hand, the one causing me to be able to do that and move my thumb in and out like that. And I don't think I can do that anymore at all. I can barely move my thumb in there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's what happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm losing this cast next Wednesday, the 19th, is when this cast is going to be off. And at that point, I have a lot of work to catch up on. Now, very much, the thing I wanted to say in this video is about me, the cars I've had, and yeah, what I do. I am educated a mechanic on, well, lighter vehicles like regular passenger cars and stuff like that. I've built a couple of engines, well, a lot of engines for myself. They were not built, I just put them back together because there were 318s for the Aspen, and I've blown up a lot of those. Killed rods and rod bearings, cranks, blocks, cylinder heads, push rods, lifters. I think the only thing I haven't killed in a 318 yet is the timing chain and the cam. The only things I haven't broken. And I've built a lot of old mopeds, the old Norwegian ones. So they're called the Tempo, and they have the big one they really sold a lot of was the Corvette. I mean, it's not the Chevy Corvette, it's the moped Corvette. It's just a 50cc SOX engine in a Norwegian produced frame, and well, all the other bits. All steel, made from what, 1960, I think? 62. The last one came in 94 of the Corvettes, and they made a lot of other ones as well. I've built a couple of those. I have one, a red one. It's a 72, the one I have, with a big motorcycle headlight, and yeah. And yeah, I've had a bunch of cars ever since I was a year old, really, because my dad had a lot of old Fords, all the European Fords to start with. He's had a lot of Granadas, Taunuses, Cortinas. He never really had an Escort. Look at the price on those today. You really wish he had a lot of them and kept them. And he had, when I was born, and a couple of years later, he had, well, a year later, he had a 69 Ford Cortina 1300 Deluxe. The 1300 blew up, put a 1600 in it, that blew up, and then he put a 2-liter overhead cam Pinto engine in. And he was working on that a lot, and every time he was working on it, I was sitting in the driver's seat playing with it. So he just decided that instead of bothering putting it back together himself, he just let me have it. I mean, it did a lot of stuff to it, but yeah. And he had a 66 Fairlane at the time, and a 70, I think it was a 73 Plymouth Satellite. Yeah. the Plymouth is his reason to that Plymouth is his reason to hate Mopars, because he was working on that thing for a couple of weeks straight, couldn't get it to run, and it turned out to just be the EGR valve. And he was so sick and tired of it that it just, fix it, sell it, get rid of it. Then he bought the car he has now. It's a 66 Ford Falcon with a, well, it had a 289 back then. That blew up a couple of years ago. Well, every single piston disintegrated. It was factory engine from 66, well, from a Mustang from 66, and it had been flogged for years. I mean, that thing has been driven hard, and that engine blew up, and he had a 302 sitting, so I just built that for him and put that in there. And it's running with that now. It's just a 302 3-speed manual. There's gonna be a Ford top loader in that thing real soon, the 4-speed. I think it's a close ratio box as well, so that's gonna be a real fun car to drive when that's done. Anyway, I got that Cortina when I was a year old. Sold it. I was 7 or 8 years old. I sold it for next to nothing, and I regret it to this day. I still want that car back. I mean, I drove it once. Well, drove it. Not really drove it. I was allowed to go around with the keys, and the car had gas in it, and it had a battery in it. What do you think an 8, 6, 7-year-old boy is going to do when he has a car, he has the keys, and he's been watching his dad drive for years? He's going to put the key in the ignition and turn it around, and the car started in gear. That was fun. Well, for me at least, not for my parents. Now, I sold that. I was without a car for a couple of years. In the meantime, I got a 63 Tempo Corvette, the moped that I mentioned earlier. Not the one I have now, but another one. I started putting that together. Me and my dad overhauled the engine. Had that all done. Then we were working a little bit on the rest of it, but we never really got that far. And then my dad moved. He moved to where we live now. And he brought this 90s Tempo Corvette up that he found and gotten. And the guy who owned, well, my moped at that time, the 63 Tempo, wanted that thing back, so I did a trade with my dad and got the newer 90s one, and built that for myself. Built it like the one I have now, only, well, I don't like the 90s ones because they were built in Portugal, and the quality was a lot worse, and, well, the engineering was a lot worse on the frame at least. The engine was the same. I mean, still the German SOX MLK 50-4. And, well, those still work, but the engineering on the frame and all that was bad, real bad. I'm real sorry about all the glare that's in this, but, well, it's cloudy outside, pretty much raining, and, well, whatever light can get into this car is getting in, apparently. Anyway, I had that Corvette. Then I got a 64 Ford Falcon in allowance, pretty much, that I had for a couple of years. Traded that for a 61 Falcon. Then when I was about to get my learner's permit to drive, we figured out that Falcon is not going to be done anywhere near me actually being able to drive, and it still isn't. So I bought the Dodge Aspen I have, the 77 wagon. I had that for a little while. Well, I still have it, so I had that for a while before I bought another 77 Aspen Special Edition sedan that, well, pretty much ended up with scrap. I just took a bunch of parts from it. Well, I took every part from it. The only thing I sent to scrap was the chassis. Everything else I still have. Well, except the parts I've sold. Then I bought that 63 Fairlane I have. I still have it. Tore that apart, and it's still apart. Well, it needs some Bondo and sanding and primer and paint now, but it's come a long way because I've replaced pretty much a lot of the car. I replaced the floors on either side front, inside and in and outer rockers on both sides, just the front bed. Bottom end of the firewall, top of the firewall behind the fenders, bottom of the front fenders, bottom of the rear fender on that side, and wheel arches on both sides. Yeah, I replaced a lot of it. There's a lot of metal replaced on that car. And after I got that, I blew up the Aspen just before Christmas Eve, and my cousin had a 1988 Nissan Laurel for sale that I bought from him. Drove that for a while until it was about to be put back in, about to go in for another inspection. And it was not going to pass, and it would cost more to fix it than the car was worth, so I dismantled it, scrapped the chassis, and sold the rest of it. I didn't even sell the rest of it for a lot. I mean, it was pretty much nothing. Then there was the 80 Plymouth Volare, which is pretty much a Dodge Aspen just with a Plymouth badge. So I had a bunch of parts. I mean, why not buy a car you have parts for? And I got that for next to nothing. I had that for a while. And God, it's raining. Sold that again for exactly what I bought it for, but I got a lot of money in between there because there was a guy who was drunk and figured out he wanted to walk over it. And when I figured out who it was, I just took it to a paint shop and asked them how much is it to straighten out the deck lid, hood, and roof and repaint it. And they came up with a huge number that was a lot more than that car was worth. So, well, that earned me a lot of money on that. Pretty much earned me 10 times what the car cost me. So, with that money in the bank, I still drove to Plymouth, sold it, got another engine for the Aspen, which has still been blowing up since the last time it was blown. And drove that for a little while before what happened? Oh yeah, I bought a 92 Ford Sierra. Well, in between there I got the Escort and I got the Dart. Then I bought a 92 Ford Sierra, had that for a while. And in between there I actually drove a 76 Ford Granada as well. Bought Sierra, had that for a month before I scrapped it because the oil pump was crap and rod bearings went out, and then that took out the crank and I didn't bother fixing it, so I just scrapped it. What I had after that? Yeah, I drove the Aspen again. That's always my go-to thing when I don't have a car. Fix the Aspen and drive that. The tap blows up and I buy something else. And then I traded the Dart for this thing, which I've had for about a year and a week. Yeah, I've had it for a year and a week. And I've gotten that 77 Granada that I'm going to fix, and I'm going to sell this thing because I'd rather want an own car than, well, this. So I've had a bunch of cars. That's probably something I'm forgetting because I can never keep track of them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm closing up on 15 minutes again with just rambling about my cars. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Any old video will do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you don't know yet, the Aspen that I've been talking about is being built into a street racer. Street drag car, pretty much. And I have as I said in that part 1 video I've made of it already, I haven't been able to do anything because of the cast. But in that video I've said that I'm gonna get a line lock, and that is on its way. So when this thing comes off next week, yeah, line lock is getting in there. What comes with a line lock? Burnout, maybe? How about this? If one of the videos that I've posted in the last month, well, let's say July, June, and May, one of those pass, let's say, I'm going to be realistic for my channel and say 20 likes, or I reach, well, let's say whatever comes first, one of the videos hits 20 likes, or I have 60 subscribers now, so let's say 75. If I hit 75 subscribers or 20 likes on a video from May, June, July, I will do a Burnout. A celebratory Burnout video. That's a good deal right there. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.